name is Reggie Middleton. I'm an entrepreneurial investor, blogger, and I guess a professional pontificator, that's what I call myself. I started the blog in 2007 in anticipation of starting a hedge fund. And instead of buying research, I decided to produce it on my own. So I have a team of research analysts, and I'm known for calling the fall of Bear Stearns, Lehman Brothers, the European debt debacle, Apple share collapse, Google's flight, among others. And these calls and brash personalities landed me some media spots, such as Russian TV, CNBC, etc. And very, very recently, I'm late to the Bitcoin bandwagon, but very recently, I decided to take my entrepreneurial pursuits to Bitcoin and write derivatives on top of Bitcoin to do things such as crawl volatility, hedge, short, etc. And this is why I'm here.
I would like to put on my Krugman, Shiller, Greenspan hat and play devil's advocate here and test 3 economic claims with you guys, and hopefully you can refute them so we can just get rid of them once and for all. First, Bitcoin is copyable, so everyone can create a cryptocurrency, so there will be massive inflation.
Well, it's important to understand that Bitcoin is a protocol, which means that the value is really made by the network of people that use it. A comparison that I like is to compare with a piece of land where you can build a city, and currently the city of Bitcoin is being built, and the piece of land has to be suitable but not perfect. You can right now go to the Bitcoiners and say, look, people of Bitcoin, I found a patch of land about 100 miles from you and it's 5 or 10% better than this. Why don't you kind of deconstruct all your buildings and move yourself over there? It's going to be pretty hard to convince everybody. They have all this interconnectivity, all these economies of scale, and so protocols in general are not that tempted to change. People in general that use protocols are not that tempted to change. And it's also important to understand that this is open source code, so if there's an improvement that's out there that people agree on, they can just implement it into Bitcoin.
Right?
Yeah, if I could just add to that, I'd also say that it's kind of a silly argument to say that because there's an unlimited number of cryptocurrencies, potentially, that it would be inflationary. It's like saying today we have about 200 fiat currencies that are in use, a little bit less than that. If we wake up tomorrow and there were 400, it wouldn't have any impact whatsoever on the value of the pre-existing 200 relative to economic goods and services. And it's the same with cryptocurrencies. If suddenly we have 1,000 cryptocurrencies, it really has no impact on the value of Bitcoin or Litecoin or Purecoin relative to anything real in the economy. The technical word for that is fungibility. So I can't use a dollar as a yen, and for the same reason I can't use a Bitcoin as a Litecoin. So it's
Right. Reggie, anything to add?
And I'm in agreement with the other two. To expound upon what he said, there's a theory called the network effect. And basically, the more people that use any particular item or service, the more valuable that service is. And the more valuable the service is, the more people use it. And that's where Bitcoin stands in relation to the majority or practically all the altcoins. So you can have, like I said, instead of 200 or 400 altcoins, you can have 8,000. That does not hamper or in any way alter the network effect of Bitcoin. So there are things that could alter it, but the amount of potential competitors are not actual competitors. So Bitcoin's network effect is what lends it its value in relation to all the other altcoins. And this has absolutely nothing to do with inflation anyway. So it seems like a straw man argument.
Right.
And leave it to contrarian badass
Now,
Reggie
at the time,
Middleton.
you were the only analyst in the world to mention that it would starve the banks.
All right, Reggie Middleton, you are building what you call a virtual Goldman Sachs on top of Bitcoin. Tell us about it.
Well, a virtual Goldman Sachs on top of the Bitcoin and protocol and network sans the extreme conflicts of interest and the excessive bonus compensation sort of along. So basically, I'm building a more efficient financial system.
I mean, not to be impolite, but what makes you so special that they all want to read your blog?
I can step on toes and be objective and offensively honest.